Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Iowa Speedway here in Newton, Iowa for race number 13 of 14 and season number 6 of the NSDCA Mountain Dew Custom Series. Race for the championship is winding down here for the Toyota Owners. 250 laps of action here around the 7/8 of a mile short track in Iowa. Let's take a look here at your top 10. Patrick Smith on the pole, really fringe championship contender at this point. 51 back behind points leader Anderson Reed. That's over a race back. He needs a miracle here today. Been looking for that first career win ever since he started, all the way back in season 1. A long-time veteran. He's contended for wins this year. Hasn't put it together. Looking to do that once more here today. Probably one of the drivers who the garage area is most expecting to see break through and get that long-awaited victory. Alongside him is another man in that same position, Roger Ray, in the number 62 Pontiac for Cyclone Motorsports, running down here from the season in the MDCS, alongside his now championship campaign with Angiato in the Truck Series. It's been a strong season for the driver in weak equipment. That Cyclone 62, sitting in the top 15 of the point standings, even missed a race this season, putting together some good runs in that program. It's the Toyota Owners 200, so we do have some Toyotas there in row 2. William Duncan, bad luck has hit him the past few weeks in that number 33, looking to turn that around once again today. And Mike Cook to his outside. Cook trying to finish his 3-year campaign at Shepard Racing on a high note. Shepard did win here in season 3 with Tyler McCall, so Swipmet knows how to get it done here at Iowa. Jacob Rose and Alex Fletcher making up row 3. Each of them have won this season. Rose at Road America, Fletcher at the past 2 short tracks, Oxford Plains and South Boston. 54 points back is Rose, and then Fletcher is 45 points back. Over a race back, them both. Fletcher 5th, Rose 7th in the standings, needing to beat that man starting behind them in P7, Anderson Reed. The I-69 race winner. Similar track to this, but that is a speedway, and this is a short track. Reed not known for being strong at the short tracks. Not going to be like Logan Cloud last season, who got one of his 2 wins at a short track out in Myrtle Beach and contend for the championship in Evernham Racing Equipment. Reed is looking to give Evernham their first championship here in the MDCS and seeing if he could be the next Dodge driver to do it, because the Dodge has won the MDCS title every season except season number 2 with Carson Bowers, who is now a Dodge driver. Reed will not be driving for Dodge next season as he heads over to the Monster Motorsports program in the Sundrop Cup Series. Speaking of Dodge's streak, they lock out the top 4 in the point standings. Everybody with a reasonable chance at this title. Somebody who we thought may have not even had a reasonable chance of making this race is Lotus Disparito in the 65. She brought out a great performance in her first MDCS start and first for the 65 team, the second Gatlin Downey Incorporated car, the Kingsford Dodge. But other than that, we'll have to see how this car fares. Obviously in weaker equipment compared to probably the entire top 12, top 15-ish. Depends how strong the 61 and 03 want to be today. We'll get to them later, but Otis, really good qualifying performance for her. Kyle Corbett knows how to get around these short tracks. He owns a big operation down in the lower rungs of the NSDCA ladder that primarily run at short tracks. He got the pole last time out at a short track, which is South Boston. Couldn't get it done, but led the majority of this race. Looking for big things here today. Also looking for big things, Zach Rogers in the number 9 for Texas Star Racing, trying to get TSR their second MDCS title before they head out of the MDCS at the end of this season to focus on the 2 upper series. 11 points back from Anderson Reed. Rogers looking for a good run today. Taking a look back, Daniel Kobza is going to be 4th in the point standings, 20 back. About the same range as Jeffrey Finguy, who we're about to get to. Finguy down to 22nd. Cobbs is starting 13th. Inconsistencies really hurt Kobza this season. We'll have to see how he does here today at Iowa. 2 champions then here in the race. Peter Rajek and Colton Lane, 14th and 15th. But we look further back to Jeffrey Finguy there, and the number 79 for Evernham. Reed's teammate You got the win early on in the season in Daytona. Almost won Las Vegas. Had a big chance at Road America, and ever since that has been kind of slipping back. Still, it's been a respectable season for Finn Guy, who had a disastrous one last year in the 92. 17 points back on his teammate. Looking for big things here today as well, because Kansas, you don't really want to be behind going into Kansas. And while anything can happen in the NSDCA, you might as well take the opportunities while you can get it. One last thing before we go green, we look to dead last on the grid. That is Alex Parker, cell phone team Alex Parker Incorporated, making the jump to the MDCS and putting it in the show in their first attempt, the Visa Pontiac, looking to get a clean run here today. Well, that's your field, folks. Let's get these cars fired up for 50 laps of action. Excuse me. Let's hear these engine roars go down for the most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
Field of 35 roaring to life here on the pit lane of the 7/8 of a mile oval, progressively banked. It's going to be interesting to see how these cars deal with it. First race of the Iowa weekend, so track's going to be a little bit slick. We saw it last season. Track was slick. Guys were sliding everywhere, sliding into each other and causing accidents. I don't think a lot of team owners appreciate the Iowa track prep, but I know the fans do, because they want to see these drivers at the edge pushing these cars to the limit and pushing each other possibly even over the limit. But as long as nobody gets hurt, I think everybody is going to be happy with, at least the fans will, with a good day at the races, because the Crown Royal Truck Series, I believe, are going to be racing under the lights. But Patrick Smith has been in this lead position many times this season. Can he lead the field across for the checkered flag later on? They're on the gas. They see the green flag in the Toyota Owners 200. We're underway from Iowa. Looking like an orderly start so far. Smith trying to break away. Duncan trying to work the bottom, trying to clear Roger Ray here. Rose and Reed not wasting any time. They know they are racing hard for points and need to get by the cars that aren't going to be fighting for the championship. Roger Ray on the gas, trying to make the outside work. Has to check up. Not going to get the run off the corner I think he hoped for. Mike Cook may have just tapped the wall there in the 89. Trying to gather himself back up as Cordell Smith nearly throws it 3 wide underneath Corvette. Thinks better of it. Patrick Smith is gone at the front of this. They are 3 wide back here. Christian Vargas and Priya McShane making contact. Smith gone. Almost a second lead. 2 laps into this one. Roger Ray, William Duncan trying to figure out who's going to be faster, who's going to chase him back down. Single file up here. Trouble. 1 car around. That's going to be Brad Stover. Yamakaze back across the track. Wipes out Freeze. Wipes out Neal. Delgado's in it. Sladek's in it. Look out, everybody. Scott Roush is damaged as well. That was irresponsible by Yamakaze. It was Brad Stover in the black car going around. And then everybody trying to race back, trying to gather themselves back up. Mikey Yamakaze coming off of a win at Talladega. He's won 2 of the last 3 races, actually. But that was certainly a misjudgment. Misjudgment and a half there about Mikey Yamakaze. We're under caution early from Iowa. Let's see what happened. Slowing it down for you here. As they come off the corner, Mikey Yamakaze is going to push up the track into Brad Stover. They're going to go around. Vince Freeze barely misses these two. Coming down into the 35 of Diego Yepes. Stover goes around. Yamakaze gets hit there. Shot down the racetrack. Trying to save it. Has his foot to the floor and keeps it there. Going to come back up the track. No chance of saving it. Right up into Neal and Vince Freeze. Those two are going to slide up. Hard contact with the outside wall. Yamakaze out of control. Right into the 0. John Dilk's lucky to avoid this, but Delgado gets damaged. And Scott Roush is also going to hit the 0-1. Sladek with the hard hit to the outside wall. Priya McShane also getting a piece of it. Everybody else down here trying to scatter to avoid dilemmas, but Scott Roush goes around. Sladek is heavily damaged. Yamakaze's done. Delgado is going to be severely wounded. Freeze is going to be wounded. Neal, about half damaged. Luckily, Oh, I think they're going to avoid Slanik. Yeah, Neil avoids Sladek's taking. But boy, that 64 also beat up. So I don't think a lot of these owners are going to be happy. Brad Stover also as well, I don't think has too much. Looking here at Diego Yepes. Looks like just the right side on the 35. An on-board look with Vince Freeze. You couldn't put a piece of paper between him and Yamakaze there, but until no clue it happened, and Freeze might fall out of the top 10 of the standings after that one. Tough break for North Boulder Motorsports. The onboard, a lot of people are going to be curious about Mikey Yamakaze. Let's see what he does. Some hard hits for Yamakaze, a driver that got injured back at Road America, but I'm sure he was trying to leave space because he was 3 wide middle to the inside car, got into Stover, but once he was down there, he just kept the gas planted and came right back up across the racetrack. I don't know how there would be another way to explain that one. Could probably get another look at it and then go back to the restart. Riding along, John Dilks, his avoidance. Real lucky to get by the 0-1 and the 0, and Ellison trying to get back up on the racetrack there, but get you back to the race restart after an early caution here from Iowa. Hello everyone and welcome back here to the Iowa Speedway for the Toyota Owners 200 under caution here early. Incident involving Brad Stover, Mikey Yamakaze, and others. I believe, we have a bunch of people out of this race. Sladek, Delgado, Roush, and Yamakaze all done from this one. Gonna look back, Neal and Stover out there. Freeze as well with some significant damage. Taking a look, no real surprise in the top 10. Mike Cook seems to have fallen out of it. Onjak, Kobza, and Yo have gotten into it. Cordell Smith started 11th, and he's pretty good at these short tracks as well, so no surprise to see him up here. Hayes car will peel off lap 8 of 50. Let's break into this race a little bit more. Patrick Smith leading them. He's the control car once again. And boy, what a launch. William Duncan seemed to be really close to that 62. Do we see a move for second down into one? Thinking about it still. Possibly wanted to see if Ray got tight into the corner. Seems like that's what the 17 did, because here comes Anderson Reed on the attack for 4th. And Ray got tight into 3, but Duncan wasn't there. Now Reed's going to be all over the back of Duncan as Ray hits the wall off the corner. Patrick Smith, the race leader, nearly did as well. And Ray had a little trouble getting off of it there. That's going to sail Duncan, sailing it into the corner. It's going to sail him to P2, though. Patrick Smith really pushing it now on the high side as Reed now trying to get 3rd underneath the 62. Here comes Cobbs with the big head of steam trying to get into the top 5. But Duncan all over the back of race leader Patrick Smith. Here we go. Is Duncan to make a move? No, he does not. Oh, has to check up a little bit there. Throws him off balance a little bit. Here comes the 39 for 3rd. Looks like he might get it. Rose really close to the wall there. Losing ground. Nearly hit the wall off of turn 2, but Smith tight. Here comes Duncan for the race lead if he has any run. Smith way wide into the race wall. Into the wall goes your race leader. That's what I'm trying to say. Duncan's going to take it, and Smith is going to drop through the field. Trying not to. Try and hold on to 4th, but looks like he's going to go back further than that. William Duncan is trying to set sail on the race lead. Here comes Anderson Reed, though. He wants it. Kobza challenging Ray. It's all the battling going on here. Top 6 all lined up here at Iowa. Down into the corner. Driver's going slow. Is a caution out? Yes, it is. We have an incident. Jesse Turner's involved. Maybe Vince Freeze. Zach Rogers, heavy damage. Zach Rogers, championship implications. Oh, looks like Colton Lane may have had something there under the caution flag, too. Tempers might be flaring, but Zach Rogers, heavy damage to both sides in the rear of the Race Energy Dodge Chargers. Jake Jefferson furious in pit road. What has gone on? What has occurred to shake this race and championship fight up even more? Let's get a replay. Wide angle shot first. Jesse Turner from way far back sends it in on Zach Rogers, and they bolt hard into the outside wall. Rogers getting the worst of it, but Turner as well going to lose some ground. But boy, Jake Jefferson is not going to be happy with the DieTech camp after that one. Side shot here out of the 9. Lane is open, but Turner was up the track, and oh, hard hit. Real hard hit. Well, in racing terms, folks, I think this would constitute as a dive bomb, but for deep in the field, it may not have been a move that needed to be made, especially this early into the race. Well, folks, we'll meet you back after this commercial break, but we are under our second caution here early in the Toyota Owners 200 here in the NSDCA. Jesse Turner and Zach Rogers getting together, and Rogers' championship may have just met the Iowa wall here in turn number 3.
Corn. Here in Iowa, it's everywhere, and it's used for just about everything. It's the corn-fed pork and beef that are the stars of the barbecue. It's the homegrown fuel, ethanol, that's cleaner burning and gives you choices at the pump like E15 or E85. It's all grown by Iowa corn farmers who work to preserve our state's soil and water for the next generation. Iowa corn, our state, our fields, our corn.
When you're about to do something this big, a little luck never hurts. Thanks for having us.
Welcome back, folks, to the Iowa Speedway. After that one, I believe Zach Rogers is still out on track. Yes, he is, with a good amount of damage. William Duncan, your race leader. Anderson Reed, Roger Ray, Daniel Kobza, Patrick Smith, your top 10. Back to the restart here. Diego Yepes, that got that damage earlier on in this race, up into 8th, showing how strong he is here. Duncan, back on the gas, excuse me. We're back green. Down into turn 3. Everybody's trying to stay packed up. Duncan goes a little bit wide. Didn't have anybody to go off their reference there. Pushing up the hill. Here comes Anderson Reed. Be a bonus point if he gets this race lead. That could be also more championship implications. Here comes Anderson Reed. He's got it. Ray pushes up the hill. Patrick Smith going to get to the inside of the 62. Jeffrey Finguy mired mid-pack still. Zach Rogers, how bad is the damage he's keeping up compared to Neal and Freeze? Not as bad. Turner down pit road. Not sure if something went wrong. Doesn't look like it. Still trying to fix that damage. Also, could be being held by the NSDCA. I don't know. Turner's been in a little bit of hot water, especially with this incident that was caused at Chicagoland. We're back under caution already. Oh, it's the other championship contender. One of the others, it's Jeffrey Finguy. That's Reed's teammate. Something is happening in the mid-pack, and he's found the wall. Right side damage, definitely not as bad as Rogers, but still some damage to the 79. And Anderson Reed doesn't want to see this happen to a teammate, but he does want to see this for his championship hopes. Leading this one now, Finguy and Rogers have gotten some damage, and Finguy might be looking for somebody. Oh, boy. I have a feeling tempers might be flaring in the garage area after this one. Let's see what happened. Turns 3 and 4. Finn guy sees a gap with Fletcher going wide. Gets onto the gas probably a little bit too soon. And that's going to push his car up the hill like it did to Fletcher's. And they're going to make contact here on corner exit. No room for either of them. Real estate has ran out here on the Iowa front stretch. And Finn guy's going to hit the wall. Get some minor damage. Preston Emmons lucky that 79 got knocked again. Barely misses this one. Wells and Shear also going to slice through the smoke, trying to avoid. Kev came pretty close, and Dusty Neal as well, blinded by it. But Finn guy was down the hill. Very lucky for a lot of these competitors that 79 was not hit. And Finn guy can drive up through the field, probably pit, might be able to put on some fresh tires. See what he can do with little damage. With little damage on that race car, although there is some. Let's get you back going here as we approach halfway at Iowa. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Iowa Speedway here. 3 cautions here in the first half of this one. Anderson Reed leading, William Duncan second, Patrick Smith in third, Onjak fourth, Cobbs at fifth, and it is Ray, Yepes, Corbett, Rose, and Cordell Smith, that is your top 10. If you've missed the action so far, we had a big wreck early. We've had 2 ones recently have involved Zach Rogers and Jeffrey Finguy. Some big damage to those 2 cars, mainly to Rogers. Finguy not as bad, but definitely going to set them back on their hopes to be in the fight next time out at Kansas, the final race of the season. Have to see what happens then at Champions Weekend. Pace car peeling off. Anderson Reed, your points leader, looking for his 2nd win of the season, coming down. Also wanted to mention, right before we go green, Jesse Turner was parked for his incident with Zach Rogers due to the fact he's on probation and it was a championship contender. He made that extreme move on here early on in the race. Patrick Smith seemed to get a good start. He's going to take 2nd away here from William Duncan. Cobbs are trying to follow on the same on the bottom, but Duncan trying to swing the top. Not sure if he can really do it. He's going to have a good run off that corner if he can keep it going. Coming down. Not going to happen, though. Here comes Smith sending it into the corner. Duncan sending it even higher on the high side. What a move. Duncan not going to get him anything. It'll lose him some ground as Cobbs gets by for good. Now Yepes is going to be the inside of Duncan. Here comes Daniel Cobbs up for 2nd. He's won 3 races this season, looking for his 4th in the 44. Smith pushing wide, does not hit the wall. Ooh, does there. Really weird. Car seemed to really overstep after he got it all sorted together. Not sure why the 97 did that, but Smith now feeling the pressure once again from Duncan. And here comes Cobbs up for the race lead. A huge head of steam in the 44. Hot Wheels on that Dodge Charger. Oh boy, nearly in the back of the 39. Oh, they're both going to hit the wall, maybe. Just Reed. Kobza doesn't know where to go. There's contact. Nearly pushing him back into the wall. Kobza does... Oh, Reed way up the hill once again. It's madness here at the front. Kobza's going to get the race lead. And Reed probably not too happy about the Anja Auto driver right now. Oh, trying to get himself back together. Anderson Reed. Here comes Yepes with a beat-up race car trying to get P3 away. He knows how to get it done here at Iowa. Look at this. Reed's back under Kobza for the race lead. Oh, Duncan sending it once more way up the hill into those marbles up there on the high side. On Jack. Duncan lucky to clear that 61 as Patrick Smith. Ooh, the 35 of a problem. Really slow there. Nearly wiped out by the 97, but here we go for the race lead. Anderson Reed gets it over Kobza right there, but Kobza throws it into one, no hesitation. They're both up the hill. These cars are pushing up the racetrack right now. It is going crazy here. Taking a look back, Mike Cook trying to get back up into the top 10. Disparito still up here, further on back. Rose in the 17 has a bunch of damage. Finguy and Rogers stuck in the back. Not what they want to see. Kobza has the race lead, but he's in the wall again. Here comes Anderson Reed trying to get it back, but he can't quite do it. Yepes got the wall back there. Kobza really pushing up this time in 3 and 4. Can he keep it off on exit? Patrick Smith, where are you going? Oh my goodness. Nearly hooking the 44. Oh, these tires are shot. These cars are shot. And there's still 20 laps left in this race. Now, William Duncan, I don't know what these drivers have in mind, but Duncan wants that race lead back, trying to get underneath the 97. Smith wide once again in 3 and 4. Reed wide in 4. Here comes Cobbs. They're swapping the race lead. Both of them want to lead the most laps in this one. Here comes the 44. Back to the bottom. Can't quite get it just yet. Trying to diamond those apexes. Get a good run off the corner. Patrick Smith nearly to the wall off of turn 2. He's going to get passed there by the 13, who is Irving Allison this week in the 13. But boy, Anderson Reed got shoved. He's into the wall. Here comes Peter Onjak for Hagen Enterprises. The 61 up to second. And Reed's going to get put 3 wide. That's going to send him back through the field. Duncan not trying to give him any inches on this racetrack. And if Roger Ray is going to get the bottom, that's going to keep Reed up on the high side. Going to get taken 3 wide by Diego Yepes. That's going to be his future boss. But Yepes no speed on the way bottom. Onjak wide this time. I think he's up into the wall. Yes, he is. I think there's a big bump there on 4. Onjak really pushing up once again. Not sure where he's headed in that 61. He's won a few short track races this season in Cup. But Daniel Cobbs is smooth sailing out in front for right now. To say that, he's running a little pretty high on the apex. Here we go, side by side. Onjak into the wall for a second lap. He's going to lose some ground. Irving Allison up to second in the 13. Irving's won some short track races as well in the CRTS, so trying to get it done here in the NSDCA for the first time in his career. BGM obviously has won twice with Yamakaze this season. Nothing from that 13 team yet. Onjak not going to hit it 3rd time in a row. Duncan will this time by his Yepes, trying to get a little bit of draft, it seemed like, off the 33. We've seen him do this. He gets the lead. He doesn't have to look back. He just checks out. He's just inconsistent in qualifying. It puts him in the back for a lot of these races, but once he hits it, he absolutely hits it. But unlike some of these other races, there's a high potential for a caution flag. Onjak, I think, is in the wall once again. Duncan and Yo gonna try and possibly make a 3 wide here. Yepes pushing up in the middle of the corner. Here comes Colton Yo. We saw him aggressive at Talladega. Aggressive here is Duncan all over the back of the 61 that time. Now, can Anderson Reed get second back from the 13? That's not what Finguy and Rogers wants to see. They're both back here. Finguy seems to be slower than that 9 so far. John Dokes has a ton of damage. Emmons has a ton of damage now. Working up Austin Johnson damage. Disparito's falling back. Cordell Smith falling back in the 67. They've gotten the wall. Boy, Alex Parker's in the top 15 in that 14. Anderson Reed, Irving Allison trying to work each other for second. They're still tight up here. Mike Cook rounding out the top 10 currently. Oh, up the track, Yepes. Onjak nearly in. Duncan making it 3 wide. That's going to be tight, but Yepes keeps it into the wall. Ooh, still trying to throw it in. There's back to 3 wide through 1 and 2. Oh, but Yepes is going to fall back. They're gaining time. They're gaining just a little bit of time on Cobbs at each lap. There might be time if these two can sort it out. I don't know if Reed's faster or Allison's faster, but they're going to try and fight each other. That time at the line, they lost time. Side by side once again. Here comes Duncan on Onjak this time. Mike Cook up here as well. Pretty even off the corner. Duncan gets a run, though, off the bottom. You usually don't see that. He can hold it here in 3 and 4. The spot's his. And it looks like it will, because Onjak probably going to hit the wall here. Lifts keeps it off of it. Reed has taken second. Can he run down Cobbs in 11 laps, or will there be caution to mix things up? Allison trying not to give up the fight here. Still looking for second. Roger Ray on the yellow line way down the racetrack trying to get by Patrick Smith for 4th. Big run there for Ray, especially for Cyclone as well. Here comes Yepes versus Mike Cook here. And Alex Parker's put that 4 in 11th. Incredible run. Incredible run for the 65 too. You know, both GDI cars are right now in the top 15. That's big. Reed is setting sail on Allison. Looking for the race lead on Cobbs. Does he gain that time at the line? Doesn't look like it. Cobbs needs to keep being consistent. Duncan way up the racetrack. Way up the racetrack. Nearly on the painted, unpainted lines. I don't know what you want to call them. I guess they are unpainted. Onjak just trying to hold on to top 10 for HE. Here comes Alex Parker, Cordell Smith, loaded Disparito, but Disparito might not know where she's going. Way up the track there in the 65. Might fall in the clutches of Corbett and them. Coming across the line this time, Roger Ray almost into the race wall. Colton Yo has his sights set on the 97. Anderson Reed is running out of time for a second win on the season. Cobbs trying to chase down Colton Lane. Lane, I think, won 5 races last season in the MDCS. This would be Cobbs' 4th. That time at the line, Anderson Reed lost 2/10. He needs a caution, but at this point, I don't know if he's getting one. Laps are winding down. Austin Johnson has been nowhere all day trying to work his way up through the field. If you get a caution now, there might not be time to set up a move for this race. Here comes Colton Yo, still trying to fight Patrick Smith for 4th. And Yo passing Ray pushes Ray out of the top 5. Still fighting up here with some, honestly, more midfield cars. You look at the 89, 61, 35, 4 definitely, 67. 54 is a little bit better than all of them. But here comes Yepes underneath Onjak, 2 veterans of this sport fighting it out in front of one of the young rookies, Alex Parker, in the 4. Alex Parker is going to learn a lot of valuable experience racing against these leeches. Maybe not that, as Onjak hits the wall right in front of him, but at the front, Reed losing more time. He knows it's slipping from his grasp, pushing up the hill. He's comfortably in 2nd right now, but he knows he wanted to win this thing. Doesn't look like he will. Boy, Cobbs could deal with Freeze and Neal here. That could shake up things as well for this one. Finn guy nowhere. He's got more side damage now from hitting the wall. Rogers trying to hang on. Disparito's falling back. They've hit the wall. Corbett hitting the wall again. And Onjak's not going to get a top 10. Yepes underneath Duncan this time by. Patrick Smith pulling away from Colton Yo. Here comes the 62. Roger Ray trying to get back into the top 5. Next time by, 2 to go here. Cobbs is going to have to deal with lap traffic. He's rapidly approaching the 27 of Vince Freeze, but Vince is going to get out of his way. Dusty Neal still ahead of the 64. Freeze trying to fight, trying to make it interesting. Neal almost up into the wall in front of him. 2 to go for Cobbsa. And he's going to get by Dusty Neal just fine, it looks like. But Neal sending it on the high side. Going to give Cobbsa a run for his money here. But Cobbsa clears off of turn 2. Home free now. Anderson Reed almost up into the wall. Patrick Smith almost up into the wall. Drivers are pushing it. These tires are screaming. They want this race to be over. And it will be. White flag is out for Daniel Cobbsa, looking for his 4th win on the year for Auto. It's going to gain him a few points on Anderson Reed there in 2nd for the fight for Kansas. Finn Guy might be out of it. Rogers might be out of it. It might just be Evernham versus Auto this season at Kansas. Daniel Cobbsa is going to give it his all. Off turn 4, 4th win of the season. Give it to the 44 team. Daniel Cobbsa does it in the Toyota Owners 200. Mike Cook, Diego Yepes, William Duncan, and boy, Alex Parker, that might be the story of this race. Outside of Finn Guy and Rogers' woes, Alex Parker getting a top 10 for that underdog team. That 4 Pontiac, that team is going to be happy. Ooh, Corbett and Rose, beat a little bit of tempers there at race, some exchanging of words, not sure what really happened there, but can't imagine a lot of these drivers are too happy with one another after that one. Boy, congrats to Cobbsa on this one. It's going to be big because where did... Rogers got a top 20. And Finn Guy's going to get a top 25. But that's not really where we want to be down here in the MDCS. So, tough days for them. Alex Fletcher 26th. Rose 21st. Freeze 29th. It's really going to be Reed and Cobbsa, I think. Rogers and Finn Guy... they're going to be outsiders now. It's going to be a 2-man race coming into Kansas. But thank you all for watching here on the NSDCA. As always, it's going to be very interesting to see how the rest of this weekend plays out with the CRTS and SDCS races. We'll have to see if they are as wild as this one. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time on the NSDCA.